On today's episode, we talk with Robin Leigh from Stage to Sell Design Services, who serves the Phoenix, Arizona area. Learn how Robin has created an incredible home staging business with her vast knowledge as a real estate broker. And listen in as we discuss how Robin and her team are changing the real estate game. Now let's get started.
This is the Stager Boss podcast from StagerBoss.com with the founder of HSRA, Jana Uselton. The Home Staging and Redesign Association is a group of like-minded professionals dedicated to revolutionizing the real estate industry by making a difference in the lives and businesses of home stagers and redesigners everywhere. Join us as we talk to the best of the best in this industry from all over the world and hear how they are using their training and experience to make a difference in the clients they serve. If you are a real estate industry expert looking for better ways to market and sell properties, join us for this podcast series.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Stager Boss podcast. And we highlight key top staging professionals throughout the country. And we're super excited today to talk to Robin Leigh. She is with Stage to Sell Design Services. I want to make sure I get it right because not only are they staging homes, but they are also designing and they're making these homes look like the professional has come in. So they are in top offer condition throughout Phoenix and the surrounding areas. So welcome, Robin.
Thank you, Jen. It's exciting to be here. Appreciate the invite.
Well, I cannot wait to unpack your brain because you are a wealth of knowledge, not only in the staging industry, but also in real estate. So why don't you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, how you got started in this industry, and also maybe in real estate?
Okay, well, I have been in the residential real estate business since 1986, so I'm a dinosaur. I started.
You don't look like a dinosaur, might I add.
Must be the oil, right? But everything in the real estate industry has changed during that time. We started out with the newsprint MLS books, and I remember the first fax machine, and nobody had cell phones, and the industry has just, completely transformed and continues to do that. And probably about 15 years ago, I started really paying attention to staging. And it wasn't that I was doing it in a big way, but I had the natural skills to go in and, help people redesign in order to sell their homes. And I had heard about Barb Schwartz, because she's very well known in the real estate industry. She's brilliant. She's a visionary. She amazes me today. And we heard a little bit about what she was doing because I was in Idaho at the time. She was in Seattle. So I had friends that worked in the Seattle market and had heard about some of her success. But I didn't really jump into staging until probably it was 2011 when we were in a terrible market. And so rather than selling homes, because nobody was really selling homes, I was buying properties to do fix and flips. Mm. And I went in and did my own staging on these properties. And even in the worst possible market that you could be in, they were selling with multiple offers in record time. And I realized, this is something that's really an important piece to the sale of real estate coming from a real estate background. And so I decided to start my company in 2012, did some research, started taking classes, doing some studying to see what needed to be done to put together a company, and then started that in 2013 with my daughter.
So good. And we were right there with you. I remember those early years of startup and kind of the transition. And I think that you have beautifully synced up a dance between real estate and staging and been able to not only serve your clients, but also serve other people's clients with what you guys do and really understanding that it's all about the reveal, right? It's all about the reveal. That's what brings those top offers. So talk a little bit about how the business has grown and where it is today and how you are navigating those relationships.
Well, it's interesting because when I go to meet with clients as a real estate broker, I speak their language because I'm them. I'm not one of them. I am a real estate broker. And so I knew when we started that we walked a really fine line because agents are very protective of their clients, and they should be. And so when we started the company, I made sure that our team knew that even though I come from a really broad real estate background, I mean, my last company, I had 160 agents and over 20 staff and multiple offices around the valley. So I know residential real estate better than maybe any stager in the country. And I'm not saying that to brag, it's just you can't get 30 years of real estate experience without doing it. So I really understand what realtors are dealing with when they talk to us about staging. And we are always very respectful of the relationship that they have with their client. And we make sure that they know that our role is to make them look like a hero with their clients, because they are a hero if they're introducing staging. When we first started, we would talk to agents who would say, "Oh, I don't need staging. The house is fine. It'll sell quickly." Yes. It's like you don't understand. You just don't understand. And the education of the real estate industry is an ongoing process because the industry is constantly turning over. Lots of agents coming in and going out. The more experienced agents, for the most part, are starting to really see the value of staging. But versus when we started to now, of course, we've got a huge book of business and a lot of success stories with some of the top people in the valley, and they rely on us. Right. So we can leverage those relationships to establish credibility. And you can't do that starting out. You just have to put in the hard work, and keep pushing forward and grinding. I mean, it's grinding it out. It really is. It's grinding it out when you start.
You're absolutely right. And you mentioned your daughter and how, you also have teams so it may not be that you're actually the one staging the property.
No longer do that.
Healthy things grow. And this has grown beyond you because it has been so successful and a lot of the knowledge, and you're able to now do your highest and best. And I love that not only are you serving your clients, but you guys as a team are serving other people's. You're literally impacting the market value in your area. So when it's time to pull comps, now we're getting to pull higher, better comps, and it is improving the entire area with the knowledge that you guys serve. And I know that on a national level, you have been a key for those that are kind of walking that line, and really an expert in both industries. And so I appreciate all that you're doing on a national level as well. So talk about the plans of growth, where you guys are going. What's your next highest and best?
It's really interesting. The last couple of years now, we're in one of the strongest real estate markets in the nation. That the articles keep coming out that the Phoenix area, the information we have with the company that my real estate license is with, we're the top real estate company in the valley. And so we have access to information that a lot of people don't get. So I'm very grateful for the peers that I'm surrounded by in the office that I work in, because it serves both of our businesses. And one of the things we know is that right now we have over 700 people a month moving to the greater Phoenix area. Excuse me, not a month, a day. Over 700.
That's amazing.
Sorry, yeah, 700 people a day. That's a huge number. And our population base is right at 5 million, and we're expected to have another 2 million by 2026. We don't have enough housing to serve that demand, so that creates a very fast real estate market. So as stagers, that presents a challenge for us, because there are a lot of times that you're not going to have to stage a house to make it sell. It'll sell. The question isn't whether or not it'll sell, it's for how much and how quickly.
Right.
And, you and I both know that you can take a super hot market, and I mean, I've experienced this myself as an investor. You can take an incredibly good market, stage a home, and get 5 to 15% more for that house than what you would get if you hadn't staged it. I mean, in the strongest market, staging creates more profitability for the seller than what they get otherwise. And it's really, it comes back to the agent. It's helping the agent understand that. So my goals right now are just to help continue educating our market, our real estate market, mainly because agents are really not serving the highest and best purpose for their clients if they don't have this information or don't believe in it. What I'm also finding when I go out on appointments, because as I was saying earlier, I don't stage any longer. I may stage a house once or twice a year because I go in, it's a really, really super special client or personal friend. And so I kind of, my team is so good, they're better off without me. They really are. But, you know, there are times that I still want to get my hands in. It's good to see how our processes are working and all
Sure.
those things anyway. But, you know, I used to do all of them with Jillian when we first started. So it's a lot different now. And she's a rock star. She's a savant when it comes to design and coordination. So what I'm discovering when I go out on appointments to sell a job is I always want to know what the price point is that the client's trying to hit, obviously. And then what I'm doing is running the numbers. I mean, I ask them for permission to make sure, you know, I'm not trying to step on any toes, but I would say 3 or 4 times a week in clients that we're working with, I'll run numbers to find out what I believe is the maximum value of that property to sell with our staging. I know what our staging is going to look like. Now, if they hire somebody else, and we lost a job last week, that was, you know, you don't want to lose a job. Nobody wants to lose a job. Love the agent. The house was a remodel. It's beautiful and it's luxury. And we didn't get the job because the seller went directly to a friend who is a stager. And we saw the pictures last Friday when they were done. And it's just, it's just so heartbreaking. And it really, they would be better taking everything out. They really would be better taking everything out and having that property vacant. It's that bad. But when I know what it's going to look like with our staging, because we're extremely consistent, I can actually tell them the price point that they're going to hit. And I have in multiple situations, we did one the other day, I'd say the other day, 2.5 months ago, the seller was going to list at 2.5 million. And I looked at him and I said, let me tell you about my real estate background. And I said, this is a 2.75 house. And when we finished staging it, it is a 2.75 house. And so he ended up, because he was already listed with an agent, he ended up listing at 2.75. We did a beautiful job on staging it, and it sold for cash in 16 days after we listed it.
That's
so
amazing.
I don't know, how much did his staging make him?
Exactly.
$250,000. And I mean, I could tell you story after story after story of 10,000, 40,000, 80,000, where having the knowledge of the market and then the confidence in my team to be able to deliver the product that is necessary to push the property to the top of the market, excuse me, is really it's a big deal. It's a big deal. The value is incredible, but it's educating the real estate brokers in the market to help them understand that this is really what we provide, which is so much more than coming in and putting furniture in a room. I mean, that's not what we're doing.
Exactly. You definitely have that, the knowledge, the credibility, and just the care in the relationship to see it not just staged, but also sold. And I love that it is full service, and it is all about the clients that you serve. And so when you think about the clients that you guys love to work with, who is that in your market? Are you also working with those investors and builders, right?
Right. We love working with investors and builders, and with my real estate side, I love working with sellers that have tried to sell their home and haven't been able to do that, because I can walk in and put together a plan for them that creates a strategy that makes that happen. And you know, but in general, the majority of our staging work is done around realtors, builders, and investors in our marketplace. And so we're really committed to serving them the best way we can. I have agents that ask us all the time, oh, it's only a $250,000 house. Will staging work? Yes, staging works. It works
every time.
That's right. There's no price point. There's no type of property that it doesn't work for. And so I have to tell you a funny story. So when I started our staging company, I called my attorney, and he knows me really well. We've got a long-term relationship. relationship, and he's a real estate attorney. And I called him and I said, Craig, I'm starting a staging company and I need you to put together some contracts for me. And because at the time we didn't have templates or anything like that. And so I went to him and asked him to create these contracts for me. And he said, Robin, I think staging sounds like it's a good idea. I wasn't really familiar with it, but he said, isn't this something that realtors already do? I mean, aren't they supposed to provide that to their clients? And I thought, wow, a light bulb went on for me, because I thought, if he is a real estate attorney, a pretty smart guy, has the misconception that realtors are supposed to have this skill set, pretty much the rest of the market must too.
Right.
And coming from a real estate viewpoint on this, I know that agents are told through our training and our education that we're supposed to know how to stage, because we get like a 2-hour training on making sure that you take family photos off the wall and religious icons out of the house, and you get rid of all of your boxes and magazines, and then you're staged. And realtors are actually, I know, right? It's like, really? That's not going to create 4 to 15% more value in a house.
No.
You can't get to those numbers.
Step 1 out of 100,
That's
right?
Right, exactly. And so I realized in talking to Craig that we had to help educate, because unfortunately there are a lot of realtors who think that that's what staging is
Right.
too. And so we have to go in and help them see that when we're creating that kind of value, it requires a real professional team. It's not somebody that's got, she takes her stuff out of her living room to stage her house and borrows from her friends and does this twice a year. It's not a hobby. It's not, it's not that. True professional value comes from a true professional investment with true professionals. And so we understand, and I don't mind educating our community. I enjoy that part of it because I have so much information to share and lots of stories. And we've got lots of happy stories with clients who had huge success. I was talking to somebody yesterday on the phone, and she said, no, I know your staging works, because I see like a house sits on the market for 230 days. And I said, yeah, we go in and stage it, and it's under contract in 12. And the only thing that changed was the staging. That's the only thing. But that's a very big thing. So it's helping agents understand that they don't have to be uncomfortable, that they don't know how to stage, that it's a career. It's a real career. When I started in the real estate business, we didn't have such a thing as a professional home inspection. It didn't exist. Now, you would never imagine your realtor being a professional home inspector.
Sure.
That's not our role.
Is a must.
That's exactly right. And you hire a professional and they make recommendations, and it provides real value to you. Home staging is the same. It just hasn't quite come into its full value in the eyes of the industry. But it's getting there with companies like yours, where you're helping raise and elevate the understanding of the value and how to bring value.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're absolutely right. It starts with education. It starts with having a true understanding and a concept of what home staging and the value that it brings. And we have to be able to explain that as staging companies through CE, through video, whatever, tools we have, so that we can help those realtors be an expert advisor, not a doer, but understand that experts work with other experts. And I'm sure, Robin, you guys are not the cheapest stager in the area, and you're okay with that, right?
We are in a tough market, let me tell you. I know stagers all over the country, and they look at our numbers and they go, I don't know how you keep your doors open. And there are times that I go, what was I thinking? And then we have a couple of really great months, and you can kind of see that eventually that there's a pony in the pile. That's my phrase. But I'm saying that because people who are not educated don't understand that anybody can give you a price, just like this house that we missed out on last week. Right. This staging is going to cost the seller money. It's going to cost them market time. It's going to cost them a price in their offer. And I mean, when we're talking about a home in the $750,000 price range,
it's a lot of carrying costs.
Tens of thousands of dollars. I know firsthand that's tens of thousands of dollars. And so if you saved $1,000 on the stage, how much does that cost you? Right. And so it's especially with realtors, we try to help our realtors understand that they don't need to explain the value of staging, that if they'll just bring us in as their team member, that we're part of their team, and we'll do all the heavy lifting on that because we're the ones that know the results and we can share the stories and the statistics and all those things. Then it takes the burden off of them so that they don't have to know, but we can really demonstrate. One of my favorite ideas is, I know if you give us $1, we're going to probably give you anywhere between $3 and $4 back. Usually, sometimes a lot more than that. That's right. So how much did that cost you?
Exactly.
I mean, you would stand up all day long and hand out dollar bills if people were going to give you 4 back every time you did it.
Absolutely. It is. It's an investment. It's not a cost. And I love that you're able to help people understand that there is value in this. Of course, agents feel like it's their fiduciary responsibility. Number one, to educate, right? They just need to say, this is part of my proven repeatable system.
Right.
And staging is one of those pillars in it, professional staging. And so it's not about the agent fighting for the cheapest price and the cheapest stager, because that's really what you're going to get. You really want to understand that the value, the investment is there, and that we're experts and we have sweet spots of pricing. We know what it costs to run our businesses, and we know what it costs to, we're doing everything we can to save that client money and keep our doors open. And we're treating people like family. We're treating people like friends. And I think that people can understand, experts truly want to work with those top experts in the industry. And you guys have done a phenomenal job, not only on the product, but also the education and experience of helping people choose the right packages for them. That's going to help put that home and position it with its best foot forward. So I love that. And I love what you guys are doing, again, not only in your local area, but with our association, with helping educate and train. I know a lot of agents want to be stagers, and a lot of stagers are thinking about being agents and really diversifying. And so it's that happy medium of, let's all be experts. If we choose to do what we do, there's the fine lines. We know how to navigate that. And so if you were just to talk to that agent in your area that's saying, I have a little hesitation about maybe hiring another agent, and how do you just, again, combat that and really handle that with care? Because we want people to see that you are an addition to their team of experts.
That's right. Well, starting day one, our commitment has always been that if we stage a home or an agent calls us about a listing, let's say that listing expires for some reason, or they don't use us, or whatever it may be, that property and that agent, it's hands off. We have lots of knowledge about that property. As a realtor, I could go in and use that to my advantage to take that property over. We will never do that. We have never done that. We will never do that going forward because it's the kiss of death to your business. So why would you do that? It's insanity to do that. And we couldn't continue to grow and build the reputation that we have in the industry. I get calls from agents all the time who say, we've never used you, we've never used staging, but, this person in our office says that you are absolutely the best company in the Valley, and they've worked with others, and you're the one to call. So we've been able to build that reputation because we're extremely respectful of our agents and the relationships that they have with their sellers. We have to be. And it's fun to hear an agent call us 3 days after they put the house on the market and it's staged and say, we're under contract. I can't believe it. My sellers are out of their mind with excitement. And sometimes it's a real struggle to get those clients to buy in because they're not doing this multiple times a day. They aren't seeing the results. And as much as we promote them and we share pictures and success stories, the belief system has to come from your own personal experience.
Right.
So they're taking a giant leap of faith with us. And it's wonderful that with the time that we've had in the business and the results that we have and the reputation we have, that we can go in and say, yes, this is what it's going to cost you. Yeah. And look at the product that we deliver. We use beautiful furnishings. They're all model quality. The homes that we stage are They look like they're in magazines. And Carol Morgan, if you're listening, thank you, Carol, for every time that you post on one of our Facebook posts and goes, magazine quality. Thank you. We really try to create that effect because buyers, and so let me say something that I would love realtors to know. When we go in and work with realtors, we strategize with them. If they want my opinion on pricing, I'm happy to share that with them. I can show them the result of the stage that they're going to get in the way that it looks. But we also strongly, and from day one, from day one, we only work with a professional real estate photographer who takes pictures of the listings with the staging furniture in it that represent a true look of that home. You don't want to use weird filters. You don't want art shots from the floor taking a shot of the kitchen range or the craziness. No buyer is ever going to get excited about a house when they're seeing art shots. That's not what they're looking for. As a realtor, I know they want to see photos of the house, the way it looks, and then when they walk through the door, they want to see
they experience it
exactly like what they saw online. And I explain this to realtors because a lot of times they don't even know that you've created a question, you've created mistrust in their mind if they walk into a house and it doesn't look like it looked in the photos, good or bad. It's a sense of this isn't right. And no buyer that's on their guard feels good about writing an offer. You have additional things to overcome if you can even get them to the table. So just follow the system that we've set up, because believe me, the system was set up with a real estate experience mindset, but it'll get you the result. And we have actually become consultants for lots of realtors that don't get guidance from their brokers, and they'll call and say, I heard that I should talk to you because you really know how to help us get this property sold. So that's what
that you're treating them like extended family. You're investing your knowledge into them, and you're actually adding money to their pocket. You're not taking it away. You are adding that money. So it's so huge. I love it. I love it. I love that you understand and you are educating. It is like online dating. I mean, people are online dating homes and they want the same. How would we feel if someone else showed up, at dinner based on what their photo was that we were seeing and feeling like we were meeting? So it's the same experience that we're creating for these buyers. It's about show ready property, top experience. And I know you guys have cracked the code in your area for that. So how can people contact you guys if they're wanting to connect with you?
Well, we're on all social media platforms, so I can say that. We're on Facebook, so it's staged, like STAGED 2TO, Cell Design. So you can find us on our website, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Twitter, you can find us by phone, which is 602-652-2220. You can text us. You can find us on Google. We're always on the first page for home stagers in our market, usually in the top 3. We have great reviews. And you can find us on Yelp. You can even find us on Active Rain. That's for realtors.
Well, I love it. You definitely, people can see your work, they can see your quality, and of course, meet you guys in person if they're in the area, no matter what project they have. Even getting into these, it's like vacation rentals coming up, design, all of these things are here right in our backyard. So it's like helping people with whatever their needs are. I love it. And thank you again for being not only the go-to expert for the areas that you guys serve, but also just on a national platform, and inspiration to all of us as well. And I know that there is competition, but there's also collaboration, and you guys, you see each other as colleagues also in the staging industry. We all see each other as colleagues, and bringing that professionalism to our industry. So thank you for helping spur that as well.
Really appreciate everything that you're doing, Jana.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It is. You're doing the right things.
Well, we know that we're part of the real estate industry, and we believe continuing education is where it's at as well, to stay on the forefront of all of the growth and development that technology is bringing. So it's great to partner with people like you with the knowledge and the expertise, and we look forward to all the growth that's happening and that will be happening as well. So you guys take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen.
All right. Bye-bye.